Hello, and welcome to another episode. We have reached 7 episodes, which I am actually astounded by, because my last podcast series I only got up to 6, so it's nice to have this little moment for me. So this is success. I'm trying to do like 3-ish a week. That seems to be what I am capable of time-wise and energy-wise. So, and also just material to give you. So I'm going to give you a quick little recap. If you don't know who I am, my name is Isaac or Ike. Welcome to Vanlife in NYC with Isaac. I know we're talking about names right now. Biggest thing that I finally decided, and if you've been watching the other episodes, you know that I've been kind of wavering on a few things. I decided I will be turning equity, which if you don't know what that means I will be joining the acting union finally. I was one contract away, which I already technically would have gotten and done, but didn't take. So technically I would have had to turn equity very shortly anyway. So I just decided I would. And that's a big step. Not only monetarily or financially, but it means that I honestly feel and am excited for the next step of what's going on. So that was a decision I made about 2 days ago. I sent an email in, and I'm excited to see the return of that information as it gets passed along the line and back to me. So otherwise, it is a little chilly. I do have my hat and my scarf on for a reason. I've just not used the heat at all. I was cooking and it got it up to 60 degrees, and then I have just been sitting here eating, and it kind of slowly cooled back down. It's probably 40 degrees outside. Yesterday was beautiful. It was high 50s, which was nice. But I just haven't really wanted to get back into doing this, into making the podcast, because I was yesterday I just didn't have it in me. Anyhow, so that's the biggest news, that I decided I'm turning equity, which is a cool and big step, because I attended EPAs this week, which I've mentioned before, equity principle auditions. I don't know if I said them right before, but that's how it's called, equity principle auditions. And basically you put your name on this list. You can get there as early as 6 a.m. when they open the building. And I ended up, the first time I went, I was 25 on the list. This next time I was 35, and I signed up for 2 this last time. And I got seen by the one that I wasn't even trying to get seen by. I was hopeful to get seen by Flat Rock, but I got seen by Forestburg, which I obviously still wanted to audition for, but it wasn't my priority for the day. Which is funny because, I had to wait for so many people's names to be called, and they just weren't there. So you just skip right along until you get to your number. They got up to all the way up to 60 on that list, and I was 35, but they probably only saw 30 people max. But that's the thing is you don't know, the EPAs are a guessing game. You sit in this holding room at Actors Equity or Pearl or wherever. Specifically, I'm talking about Actors Equity. And you wait there and you wait there and you wait there. You go to lunch. Maybe you get seen in the afternoon. So it's really this big chance game. And as much as I love the idea of grinding and trying to do all that, I also feel that I am good enough to be in those rooms already. So I feel right now I'm just doing myself a disservice by not being able to audition outright. So that's why I've kind of decided that equity would be in my best interest. I know it will affect the places I've been working at, which is sad, because I know that they'll have to really consider how to use me now, because they'll have to pay me an equity rate, which they may not want to. But it's one of those things where it's, for me, the right decision, and I think that knowing that about myself and what my goals and dreams are, this is the right choice. So I sat through these EPAs, only got seen one time, and I was there for 3 days. So that's just to give you an idea. Good time to work on stuff. I always try to bring stuff with me, so I'm not just sitting on my phone and just chatting with everybody, which that can be useful for you or for me. I find those moments really good, because then you're networking, which is very important. And I got to network with some non-equity people, which is unimaginable to me, because I'm oh my gosh, you have to wait through all of these EMC people to see if you can get seen as non-equity, which happens, but it's a lot more rare. But got to connect with so many people, which was cool. So there are benefits to doing these EPAs and being stuck in those rooms and doing those different things. Biggest thing with the van. So I've moved the van pretty much twice a week since I've been here, and I am nearing 2 weeks now. And as much as like that's cool, I know it will eventually be like harder. So I've been trying to find spots when it's nice enough to walk around to have as my backup spots, because I don't really like sitting around waiting for the sweeper to come by and waiting for the patrol car to come by and just making a little loop. But saves me from getting like a $50 ticket, so I don't mind. It's been interesting. Someone asked me recently how I'm working on budgeting, which this wasn't supposed to be about budgeting, but I'll talk about it just very briefly. Is that I tried to spend no more than $300 in a given week, which sounds like a lot of money, but in New York, that's nothing. That's pennies. So that's kind of what I've given myself. Like, I give myself a range of 4 to 6 months of just auditioning and taking classes and doing all this stuff. So I'm really, really trying to stay in that within that budget. Not possible when you're like buying classes outright, but I know those classes and the way that they work will even out over time, because I've been paying, $25 for a dance class or $20 for a dance class, and then started this scene study class that I'm very excited for. I start that on Tuesday. I've been memorizing 6 pages of text anyway, and then I have my film study class, which starts in a week and a half from now, which will be really cool. I'm literally just shooting on all cylinders are being fired, however that expression goes. Anyway, so budgeting is a thing, and I brought a lot of groceries with me from Aldi, so they've lasted me almost 3 weeks already, which is pretty good. So I've not had to do grocery shopping, but I bought this little cart thing that'll be perfect for New York, which literally is like a collapsible cart in some ways. So I'll be able to cart around my groceries a lot easier than just carrying them to and fro, which will make me more interested in buying more groceries, or at least better groceries. Anyhow. What I really wanted to talk about, in addition to equity, van, and budgeting, is so I don't want to, and this could be a trigger warning for some people, whatever it is for you, I don't know. But just speaking my heart, doing all of this stuff is great. I love it. I love that I'm in control of my fate. I love that I'm out here by my own doing this thing that I said I was going to do. Because it takes a lot of heart to decide, hey, I'm going to be poor and be an actor until I catch my break or whatever. And I promise I am not the most talented person out there. I know that. But I don't know a person that wants this as bad as I do. At least how I view it in myself. Obviously, there are people that want this badly. But for me, and the way that I inspire myself, is by saying there is not a person out there that wants this as bad as I do. Because this is the only thing I've ever wanted my whole life. And it's not just for me. I'm not doing it for fame. That's not even part of the equation. I'm doing it to be monetarily sound, to take care of my family as I would of taking care of my mother if she was still around. So I'm sitting here today. I'm in the van, and I just this is like a big day of rest for me. I really just couldn't get out of bed. I was so exhausted, and I slept, I want to say 10 hours, which, I don't know, maybe I'm just catching up on sleep after the several months at sea or what, but I was sitting here watching a show and just trying to get motivated to do literally anything before I go see my friends tonight. And I just wanted to cry. And I was thinking about how proud my mom would be that I'm pursuing my dream fully, because I know that she wouldn't question what I'm doing and one iota, 1 ounce of what I'm doing at all. And that's the thing, is like, I just wish she was here so I could celebrate this success with her. And I think that that's something that's been like weighing a little heavily on me right now, is that I don't have her. I have my family, sure, but I miss my mom a lot. And I don't always let that show, and I make jokes of it and different things like that, but I think it takes being away from everything to really feel alone like I do. It's not a bad alone. It's just alone. But it makes me feel and know that I'm on the right track, because in order to meet your destiny, you have to face your fate, or however it goes. I know that may be redundant. But I'm ready for whatever is next to come. And I can just feel this crazy amount of energy somewhere in the universe waiting for me. I know that sounds hippy-dippy or whatever, but like I mean it. I want it. I want to be better. I want everything that I do to be better because that's how I see myself. That's the standard I uphold myself with, and that's what I want to do. And I want to bring everyone that I work with me. I want to bring everyone with me. This isn't an ego thing. This isn't any of that. It's truly just establishing something so that I can make my life better and the people around me's lives better. And that's what I would have done with my mom if she was here. Yeah. So this was just a little bit more of a sentimental little episode. Nothing too crazy. There probably won't be many snippets or fun things in this one, but it's easy to feel alone when you're in a place like this. With so many people, it feels ironic almost. Because you sit on those subways and everyone has their own thing, their own dreams, their own habits that they want to pursue and live with. And for me, I find that so fascinating, but it is, it is lonely in the sense that you can't know what someone's going through or what they've been through. You just have to kind of look out for yourself and do everything you can to respect their space just as much as you hope they respect yours. But being here alone gives me a lot of time to reflect and think about what I do want and how I want things. And that's been a lot of fun for me. Scary and sad as well as I think about calling my mom and things like that. But pursue your dreams. That's what I'm saying. Don't let something like money hold you back. Don't let something like some no's and different things that people have said to you. Don't let those ever hold you back from accomplishing what you know you're capable of. Because I know I'm just right for something. I don't know what I'm right for, but it'll reach out to me when I'm ready for it. And that's why I'm taking these dance classes and these voice classes and these other classes. I mean, 5 classes I've taken since I've been here, and I don't know who decides to go back to school essentially after they've been, as marginally successful as I have. But I'm sharpening the blade so that I can continue to be better and do better and make better choices, etc., etc. So don't let that loneliness get you either is also what I'm saying. Because it's easy to feel alone, but you've got to make it make sense for you, for yourself. And it all is purposeful. Whatever it may be, it is with some purpose, whether you can see it now clearly or not. And that's a very hard and vivid reminder. Anyhow. Sorry to make this a little bit more morose, maybe is the word I'm looking for. But I hope you're all having a great end of your week. I know it's about to be Super Bowl, or if you watch this after the Super Bowl, whatever, no worries. Go both teams. Go, I'm so glad they won. Whatever it is, I personally am voting for the Eagles, but don't take that as anything other than my family grew up in Pennsylvania, so I'm a little biased. They're more Steelers fans, but it is what it is. Take this with you. Take this with a grain of salt. Do whatever you need to do to metabolize this. And please reach out to me if you have any questions, concerns. I'm going to give a little bit more of an update of the van situation on the next podcast. I will see you all so soon. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey. However many of you are watching, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it is. We've had as much as 60, which is great. And I hope the best for you, for those you love, and for whoever else is in your immediate life that means the world to you. I'll see you later.